Hello, Burton Elementary. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. It is Monday again, which means it's time for another Monday assembly. Are you ready for our announcements? Pay close attention. This Thursday, we are going to have coffee with the principal, and we're going to try our morning time again. So it will be at 9 a.m. this Thursday, coffee with the principal. And if you're not able to attend, we will record the meeting and we will post it. Padres, este jueves va a ser café con el director y vamos a volver a intentar nuestro horario de la mañana. Así es que por favor trate de estar con nosotros a las 9 de la mañana este jueves para el café con el director. Si no puede estar a esa hora, vamos a grabar la junta y usted podrá verla después. Pero es mejor que llegue en persona. En Zoom va a ser nuestro café con el director. Boys and girls, we are getting close to the end of the school year, but that does not mean that we don't do our assignments anymore. I've been hearing some teachers tell me that there's a lot of you who are doing less work than you used to. That is not okay. I want to remind you that your work is, your asynchronous work along with your classwork is mandatory. It's not optional. Those are two big, interesting words, important words. Mandatory means you have to do it. Optional means if you want. So your work is mandatory. If there's ever optional work, your teacher will let you know. Most of it is mandatory. Please make sure you complete all of your assignments. If you're not sure if you're doing all of them, talk to your teacher. They'll let you know if you're doing all of them or not. Estudiantes, padres, por favor hablen con sus niños, asegurarse de que a pesar de que estamos al final del año escolar, eso no quiere decir que vamos a hacer menos trabajo. Algunos maestros han platicado conmigo acerca de cómo unos estudiantes están haciendo menos trabajo de lo que estaban haciendo antes. No es tiempo de dejar de hacer nuestro trabajo, es muy importante. El trabajo es mandatorio, obligatorio, no es opcional. Entonces, por favor, enséñenle a sus hijos esas dos palabras, la diferencia entre opcional y obligatorio. Y por favor, asegúrense de que sus niños estén haciendo todo su trabajo. Parents, as you all know, last week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and I want to thank all of you who participated, who had your children participating. It is very important for us to let our teachers know just how much we care and how much we appreciate what they've done. Padres, como muchos saben, la semana pasada fue la semana de aprecio a los maestros y les quiero agradecer a ustedes los que participaron en esto. Es muy importante que le hagamos saber a los maestros qué tan agradecidos estamos por el trabajo que hacen con nuestros niños. Muchas gracias por participar. Online parents, if you are considering having your children come into our in-person program, the next date for that is May 17th. And that means that's actually next Monday. That means that if you are interested, you have to let us know this week. The last day to let us know for that entry date is this Friday. Padres de los niños que están en línea, si ustedes están interesados en traer a sus niños al programa de en persona, la siguiente fecha para eso es mayo 17. Lo cual significa que usted nos tiene que hacer saber esta semana. Este viernes es el último día en el que usted nos puede avisar que usted quiere hacer el cambio de programa para que estemos programados para empezar el 17 de mayo. Parents, I want to remind you that attendance is very important. And with that, I want to let you know that students cannot be in two programs at once, meaning they can't be in the in-person program and also on the online program. Students who are in person are to stay in person. Students who are online are to stay online. We cannot have students missing school. Let's say we have a student who is in person but misses school. They're not allowed to jump into the PM Zoom. That is not that child's program. Padres, les quiero recordar que la asistencia es muy importante. Y con esto les quiero decir que no es posible para los niños tener dos programas al mismo tiempo. Si el niño viene en persona, ese es su grupo. No puede entrar con el grupo que está en línea. Igual del otro lado, los niños que están en línea no pueden venir en persona, obviamente, y eso no sucede, pero hemos tenido unos estudiantes que a veces faltan en la mañana a la escuela y luego quieren entrar en Zoom en la tarde con sus maestros. No podemos hacer eso. Eso es revolver programas y no está permitido hacerlo de esa manera. Así es que por favor, asegúrese de que su niño llegue a la escuela cuando es día de clases.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lopez. I'm a fifth grader in Miss Sereno's class. Please join me for the flag salute. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good morning, Burton Bears, and happy Monday. I hope you are ready for another week of learning. President Benjamin Harrison was the 23rd president of the United States, and he served between the two terms of Grover Cleveland. He was also the grandson of the 9th president, William Henry Harrison. Harrison's most famous act while in office was that he signed the Sherman Antitrust Act, making it a law. This act was to maintain free competition in business. You will learn more about that when you study history in middle school and high school. Harrison was known to be a family man who loved spending time with his wife, children, and grandchildren. And next week, I'm going to tell you some fun facts about Grover Cleveland. Have a great week and enjoy learning.
Hello, Burton. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a wonderful day and that you are ready for another week of learning. For this week's invention, I want to talk about gum. Have you ever wondered who invented gum? Let's find out together. Chewing on a substance like gum has been around for thousands of years. For example, around 9,000 years ago in Northern Europe, people would chew on birch bark. They would chew on the birch bark for enjoyment and also for medicinal purposes. The ancient Mayan chewed on a substance called chicle that came from the sap of the sapodilla tree. In North America, the indigenous people chewed on spruce tree resin. And actually, spruce tree resin became the main ingredient for the first gum that was invented by John Curtis. John Curtis made the first stick of gum by boiling spruce tree resin and covering it with cornstarch so that it wouldn't stick together. The gum was okay, but apparently it didn't taste too well. It was actually hard to chew. Then came the next big development by Thomas Adams. He got his hands on some of that chicle from Mexico and began experimenting to produce a better type of chewing gum. And in the year 1880, he formed his company and sold gum across the country. There are other types of chewing gum creators, such as William Wrigley, who launched two very popular gum brands named Juicy Fruit and Wrigley Spearmints. Let's go ahead and take a look at how some chewing gum is produced today.
With the help of modern machinery, today gumballs come in all shapes and sizes, from amazingly real-looking strawberries and lemons to gigantic megamouths, and even some for sports fans. You could chew on this hot dog for hours at the ball game. Turning gumballs into classic brightly colored orbs is an amazing process. It starts out just like regular bubble gum, but then it takes a strange turn. The white gum goo is formed into long, hollow tubes. Another machine cuts and shapes the gum into various sizes. Those little white balls pop out at a ridiculous rate and are sorted by size into moving trays. Here's the fun part. The bear gumballs are tumbled in huge barrels that sort of look like giant clothes dryers. Workers scoop in a sweet, colorful liquid, and after several coats, the gumballs are wearing their distinctive, brightly colored shell. Finally, they are ready for wrapping. Incredibly, it takes about 5 days to make a gumball that will be chewed up in seconds. Good thing they make billions every day.
I hope you enjoyed this week's invention. Have a great week and see you all next Monday.
The title of today's story is The Contest Between the Sun and the Wind. I wonder what inspired me to read this particular story today. Do you know? Let's start. There once was a man in a warm coat, walking his way down a winding road. The sun and the wind, high in the sky, watched the man as he walked by. The wind bragged to the sun, "I'm the strongest one. I'm much stronger than you." "Really?" said the sun. "Then I challenge you to a contest of strength. Let us see who can take the coat off that man on the road." "Oh, that's too easy," howled the wind. "I'll huff and I'll puff. I'll blow to the brim. I'll rip his coat off of him. I'll smash him against the trees. I'll take his coat off with ease." So the wind blew harshly down the road. The man clutched tightly to his coat. The wind grew loud. The wind grew cold. The shivering man buttoned up his coat. The birds clung to the trees. The world was dust and leaves. But the harder the wind blew down on the road, the tighter the man held on to his coat. Discouraged, the wind blustered off with a gust and a swirl. Then the sun peeked out from behind a cloud, warming the air and the frosty ground. The man on the road unbuttoned his coat. He lifted his voice and sang out loud. The sun grew even brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. The man began to feel so hot, he took off his coat and sat down in a shady spot. The wind returned and said to the sun, "I huffed and I puffed and I blew to the brim, but I could not force the man's coat from him. I can't imagine that you were able to either." The wind stopped howling long enough to look down. There was a man sitting under a tree. Lo and behold, his coat was folded up like a pillow under his head. "How did you force him to take off his coat?" the wind asked in amazement. The sun smiled. "I did not force him at all. I lit the day. Through gentleness, I won my way." "There must have been a trick," grumbled the wind. "It's not a trick," said the sun. "It's a choice and a skill. Would you like me to show you?" The sun just smiled. The end. Thank you for listening.
Come on, join me to do some exercise. Come on, join me to do my jam.
This is my jam. I love this song. I move my feet to the beat when it's comes on, you know I'ma move my feet like this. Hey, like this. Hey. When the song comes on, you know I'ma move my feet like this. Hey, like this. This is my jam. I love this song. I move my feet to the beat when it's on. This is my jam. I love this song. I move my feet, 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 feet to the beat.
Thank you very much, boys and girls, for being present in our Monday assembly. Thank you for participating. Thank you for paying attention. I want to once again remind students that I placed an assignment in Schoology. Some of you did it, but many of you haven't. If you check in your class Schoology page, you'll see an assignment titled Principals Teach Back Video. Please try your hand at recording one of these videos. I have the instructions right there. There's a video from me there explaining to you what it is. I want to be able to have more of you doing teach back videos for our assembly. So please, if you haven't done that assignment, please make sure you do it. I am checking. Have a wonderful week.